Iraq is financially stable and does not need aid. They are telling us they do not suffer from a deficit. They are saying they are the ones to help other countries now. Dr. Shabibi, former governor of the CBI, always said if they give him safe and stable, he would release the new rate of the dinar. We are on the precipice. We are right on the edge of this happening. Isn't it exciting? We're not asking questions like, will it happen? We're instead waiting with a reality. Al-Sudani confirms the government's insistence on lifting the European ban on Iraqi Airways. Iraq has a massive amount of reserves, far more than necessary than the requirements of the IMF. And they've increased their gold reserves. Iraq Mall, Baghdad's upcoming mega shopping and entertainment hub. Quote, Baghdad is set to welcome a game-changing retail and entertainment hub with the opening of Iraq Mall, a sprawling 550,000 square meter development in the Al Dora area, near the two-story bridge overlooking the Tigris River. This mega mall will house top global brands, including Zara, Pull & Bear, Massimo Dutti, Puma, Under Armour, Lacoste, Levi's, Hugo Boss, and Bershka, among many others. With a diverse mix of high-end fashion, sportswear, and lifestyle stores, Iraq Mall is poised to become the ultimate shopping destination in the country. Set to open in late 2025, Iraq Mall will transform Baghdad's retail landscape and provide an unparalleled shopping and leisure experience. I can hardly believe all the things Iraq is doing simultaneously. It boggles the mind. Iraq has launched a 15,000-acre housing project. They approved phosphate and sponge iron projects. Standard Chartered is putting $95 million up for Iraq power plant financing. Iraq is expanding the Mason refinery to include a new 70,000 barrels of oil per day facility. Iraq launched its third phase of Baghdad Pulse initiative, which is rehabilitating Al Rashid Street, which was reduced to a pile of rubble on top of a pile of rubble. BP is putting 25B on the table and betting big on Iraq again. It just goes on and on with all manner of progress, like new economic agreements with Kuwait and 3 new oil wells in Zubair, and it would take a page to list all the alliances and agreements and projects. This hardly sounds like a country operating on 1320 IQD to the $1 to me. Something has got to give. Singapore has no news on the completion of the cross-border payment training. I think when they are through, we will see movement. The Central Bank of Iraq is among the top 10 banks buying gold in the world. Quote, the Central Bank of Iraq ranked 7th on the list of central banks that bought the most gold in 2024. Don't pay attention to the rumors. Where is the logic in the rumor? If it turns out that President Trump and Vance have asked Sudani to hand in his resignation as Prime Minister, then I might just walk away. I'll just walk away. The relationship between the two of them is the reason why we're going to the new exchange rate soon. Emo. America stops the dollar cash to Iraq. Will the dollar rise against the dinar? All I can say is it's about time. But this is a major change and there will be adjustments that will have to be made. How can the CBI get the dinar to be worth more than the dollar? Is it time to conduct the in-country RV to just over $1? Foundations warn against parallel banking system and shadow economy in Iraq. What's it mean when the US cuts off dollars to Iraq? It means they will be forced to move forward with their revaluation. This is what the US is working with Iraq on. It is nothing to be feared. It is something to be embraced. We know that the rates have come up on the screens, but we also know that the rates are fluctuating, trading back and forth at a very high rate of speed. Sammy says, for what it is worth, now at this point, it will come out $3.50 to $3.80 and probably be a managed float. Meaning 10% growth daily. Thinking out loud, it won't go much over $4, before settling back just ahead of Kuwait dinar. I could be 100% wrong, but I have a gut feeling. Frank, I think the reason why you have a gut feeling is because you have been allowed to attend some of the meetings that you cannot talk about. Concerning the new exchange rate, it can be anything from 50 cents to a $1 or just over $1. But I will admit, your opinion that it may come out at 3 and above is logical because this is a reinstatement. and it should start where it left off at $3.22. IMF. Iraq is financially stable and does not need aid. The director of the Middle East and Central Asia at the International Monetary Fund, question. Mark, do you think it's possible the dinar will be on Forex Monday, February 17, President's Day? Mark Z. I think it's highly possible. I have multiple confirmations of bond commissions being paid in the last 24 hours on historic bonds. I am very excited but do not know what it means for our timing, yet. But this is money going to people I know. People I know have money. I am very excited. A number of contacts now have spendable dollars. This has never happened before. This is brand new and gives me great hope. Question. So once bonds are paid it's our turn? Mark Z. Yes, then it's our turn. The U.S. Energy Information Administration recorded a significant decline in Iraq's oil exports to the United States of America during the past week. According to the schedule issued by the administration, which Shafaq news agency reviewed, the average U.S. imports of crude oil during the past week amounted to 5.506 million barrels per day, a decrease of 544,000 barrels per day compared to the previous week, when it amounted to 6.050 million barrels per day. Meanwhile, Iraq's oil exports to America witnessed a noticeable decline, as they decreased by 53,000 barrels per day, to record only 46,000 barrels per day, after they had reached 99,000 barrels per day in the previous week. In contrast, Canada topped the list of oil exporting countries to America, with exports reaching 3.918 million barrels per day, followed by Mexico at a rate of 482,000 barrels per day, then Saudi Arabia at a rate of 380,000 barrels per day, and Venezuela at a rate of 226,000 barrels per day, while Brazil recorded 217,000 barrels per day, Colombia 150,000 barrels per day, and finally Nigeria at a rate of 87,000 barrels per day. Amanj Rahim, Secretary of the Kurdistan Region Council of Ministers, announced on Sunday that the President of the Republic of Iraq, Abdul Latif Jamal Rashid, approved the First Amendment to the Iraqi federal budget law regarding the export of oil from the Kurdistan region through the National Oil Marketing Company, SOMO. Rahim stated in a post on social media today that the President of the Republic signed the First Amendment to the Iraqi Federal Budget Law No. 13 of 2023 regarding the export of the region's oil through SOMO. He explained that, according to the provisions of the amendment related to the cost of producing and transporting oil, the revenues from the sale of oil exported from the Kurdistan region will return to the federal treasury. Rahim added, in order to implement the law, there is only one stage left, which is to publish it in the Iraqi Official Gazette. At the beginning of February, the Iraqi Council of Representatives voted on the draft law amending the first law of the Federal General Budget Law of the Republic of Iraq for the fiscal years 2023, 2024, 2025, No. 13.